Hey guys, what's up? Don Martino here. We did it. We're here. I have now seen Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Marvel Studios, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
A lot of hype behind this movie. How is it? Sam Raimi's first MCU movie ever? Let's check it out. Okay, so this is the non-spoiler review of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. There's a lot I don't want to talk about or get into because this whole movie is really almost a spoiler on its own. There are a lot of surprises, a lot of things you guys don't want to know or hear about, so not going to get into any of that. Going to do my best to avoid all of that kind of stuff. So going down the lane of surprises, we knew that there would be cameos. People showed up from other universes, people that we knew, characters that we knew. But I think what was most surprising about that is the way that the characters are utilized that show up, all the surprise cameos and stuff. It's not so much the cameos themselves, although they are exciting when they happen. It's the way they're utilized. It's not dissimilar than the way that Toby and Andrew were used in SpiderMan No Way Home. And that was super exciting when they showed up too. But a lot of it really came down to the way that they were utilized, most of all. That's kind of what made that. And it's the same thing here. So a lot of this is coming off the heels of SpiderMan No Way Home. And it does have a lot to do with what happened in that movie with Doctor Strange, but it also has another element to it that is the reason that he kind of has to travel through the multiverse. And I'm not going to get into that. It's a big spoiler. You're just going to want to have to see it for yourself. A lot of the stuff shown in the trailers we really don't see here, or we see it, but it's in the first 20 minutes of the movie. It's a lot of it's not really played the way you think it's going to be. I've already heard a lot of mixed opinions on this movie, and I guess I can understand where people are coming from in the sense that if you're not a Sam Raimi fan, you're probably not going to like this movie. If you're not a horror fan, you're probably not going to like this movie very much either, but it played so well and everything it wanted to do was executed so incredibly well throughout. I'm not kidding. I really love this movie. I think it's fantastic. For me, all the horror elements, that speaks to me. I love horror movies and I'm a big Sam Raimi fan as well. People who love The Evil Dead are going to love this movie. And I also got vibes from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy in here too. His original Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire. I think those vibes come back into play here a lot and you'll see what I mean when you watch it, I think. I think for the standpoint that this isn't the movie that I thought I was going to get, and I'm being very honest when I say that, I can understand where people are coming from who don't love it. For me, it's definitely in my top 3 favorite MCU movies. I thought this was such a roller coaster ride of a film. I had such a great time with it, and I hope that everybody gives it a chance at least. There are a lot of exciting things that happen in the film. If you're not privy to a lot of the MCU and you just want to go watch an entertaining horror movie, I would at least tell you to watch the first Doctor Strange film, which we just did a rewatch on this channel. You guys can go check out the discussion we had. It's a big in-depth discussion on the first Doctor Strange film. Also, you need to watch the series WandaVision. It's just 1 season long, 9 episodes. I would recommend watching that. It definitely plays into what's going on here. I mean, this is almost the WandaVision finale in a way because Wanda plays a big part in this movie. I'm not going to tell you how, not going to tell you what her whole thing is, but it does have to do with a lot of what happened in WandaVision. So if you haven't seen it, it's very important to what happens in this movie. And this is one of the most strange Doctor Strange movies out there. I mean it. It's bonkers. It's weird, but it's also amazing. It's a roller coaster ride. It's suspenseful. It's horrifying. It's got a lot of great elements to it. It's a really, really phenomenal film, and I recommend going to see it.
And every morning, the same nightmare.
Strange.
It's very different than the first Doctor Strange, though, which was directed by Scott Derrickson. Sam Raimi definitely brings his own style to this film. His voice, his personality, it's all over this movie. And you guys are going to notice that too. For me, that's not a bad thing. Again, it boosted it up into my top 3 favorite MCU movies. It might be my favorite MCU movie. I don't know yet. I have to think about that. I was blown away that Kevin Feige approved it. I was blown away that it was made by Disney because it's not the type of thing that Disney would typically make. It's actually gory. It's not made for children. Please do not take your kids to this. This is actually going to be a little too scary for them. There's a lot of horrifying elements to it. Please don't take your children. Benedict Wong is in this movie. I actually got my personal favorite Wong moment in this entire movie, so I really love that. Now, we knew from the trailers Charles Xavier would be coming in to make a cameo. It is Sir Patrick Stewart playing Charles Xavier, as we knew from the trailers. That's not a spoiler, so just throwing that out there right now. And again, it's all about the way he's utilized in this film. But if I can give a 2-word review for this movie, it's Wanda, wow. I don't want to get into Wanda too much because it will spoil a lot of this movie and give away a lot of this movie. But I do want to say that Wanda's story and where it goes and the performance that Elizabeth Olsen gives as Wanda is probably the best thing I've ever seen out of her career. It's really phenomenal, and they utilize her so well in this film, and it's a big part, again, about what makes this. Again, go watch the one season of WandaVision before you go into this. It is super important to what happens in this movie. This is also probably the most violent movie I've seen in the MCU in terms of the horror, and I can't really talk about it much other than that, but again, don't take the kids. It's suspenseful, it's got this incredible tone, it's a roller coaster ride from beginning to end. It's just action-packed throughout. Rachel McAdams is back in the film as Christine. She did really wonderful work here. So is Chiwetel Ejiofor as Mordo, who I also really liked and was utilized in such a way that really surprised me, but he does give a really good performance. He's Chiwetel Ejiofor. Of course he was good. I want to give a big shout out to Zochiti Gomez, who played America Chavez in the film. She's so good in this movie, my god. There's a group of performances in this film that I would really like to shout out, and I can't, but just know all the performances are great across the board. They're really, really wonderful. Sam Raimi really went nuts with this. He really got creative in terms of the camera work, the shots. They're really insane. The editing is insane. It's really cool. It's very fast-paced editing. It's insane in so many levels. It's awesome, guys. It's really, really awesome. It's one of the most creative and most bonkers and different Marvel movies I've ever seen. Sam Raimi's frequent collaborator, Danny Elfman, is here to do the score, and I loved it throughout this movie. I thought that this score was incredible. It was really amazing. It really swells when it needs to, and it's so cool to hear Danny Elfman do any kind of score. He's so iconic. This is going to be a good movie to play around Halloween time. I almost wonder if it would have done better in October, but we'll see. I still think it's going to do really well in the month of May. So yeah, guys, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I really can't talk about it anymore. It's a great movie. I loved it. I think it might be my favorite in the MCU. I don't have any issues with it. I'm being dead serious, but this movie is so incredible. Might be my favorite MCU movie so far. I have to really weigh that out, but I had a good time with it. Not going to be for everybody, but if you like Halloweeny, spooky, horror type stuff, this is gonna be for you for sure. So if you like that type of stuff, go see this movie. Honestly, 100%. I really think you're gonna have a wonderful time with it. Other people, they're gonna get a movie that they weren't expecting and they're not gonna love it so much, and that's fine. That's okay. If you're not into that type of stuff, that's fine. But to me, this is probably what made it my favorite MCU movie. We'll see if it is or not. Again, I really got to weigh that out before I just go around saying that, but I think it might be. One more thing. This is coming off the heels of Spider-Man, and while the Spider-Man events are not ignored in this movie, it is mentioned, it is talked about. It's less to do with that Spider-Man movie than I thought it was going to be, so I don't think Spider-Man No Way Home is required viewing for you to go see this one. It is more to do with WandaVision, though, which is absolutely required viewing before going into this MCU movie. Anyway, guys, really had a good time with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. When you guys go see it, let me know what you thought. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? And that's fine if you do either, or just be nice to each other in the comment section below. I've been Don Martino once again. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section below, share this with your friends, and hit that bell for notifications. All right, guys, all that said, I'm getting out of here. I'll talk to you guys later.